Groovers, what's poppin'? It's your boy, GrooveCube. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a pop song, aka my latest song, Lemons, featuring Tofie and Lemondrop.
To my feet as I eat a perfect little slice of this paradise meat. Life's full of rainbows and good vibes. Big juicy mangoes and good times. And the seeds spread some vitamin D. A lemon goes out of a cool reality. Life gives you lemons, you throw them at your friends. It's fun to be a loser, it's fun to make amends.
Here we are. So here's one instance of Ableton where I just made vocals. But let's talk about the inspiration. Where do you start when you want to start a song? Well, this song started a long time ago, so we're gonna go back to my Instagram. It was about 2 years ago, I think. I just got back from South by Southwest here, and I just kind of came home. I just sat down with my guitar. I just kind of wanted to make like a happy, fun vibe track. So here, I'll let you guys listen to that. When life gives you lemons, you throw them at your friends. It's fun to be a loser. The chords are completely different here as well. I'm not sorry about my story. It all ends shortly, so live it for me. Right. What date was that? So that was March 23rd, 2018. So here's the actual Instagram video. I kind of slowed it down a little bit and just kind of put it on a grid, and then I started making the song around that. If you look closely, right here it kind of comes into the mix at the beginning. So if you listen close, you can hear it in the left and in the right a little tiny bit. Yeah, so it's in the mix just a little tiny bit. The way I was editing the vocals was just kind of way too CPU intensive, so I put it into its own kind of Ableton set. And what I do is I'll just sing the same thing like over and over, and then I'll just pick the best phrases from each section of my singing. So like that's why it's all cut up here, because I comped a bunch of vocals. So you have the first vocal here, and then you see the accompanying one kind of slowly comes in here. I'm not sorry, and that one's all on the sides, kind of. And what I'm doing with the vocals is I'm melodyning. I mean, like, I'm not good at singing on key, so you can see here, like, every single phrase I cut up, and like I make sure they're where they're supposed to be. That's fun. See, I'm not putting everything right on 0 either. If this was at 0, then this would be like almost auto-tune locked in, but we keep it a little bit off. I'd say no more than +5 or -5. Yeah, so here's me just editing all these vocals. On the main vocal, we just have the melodyne, and then at times the little altar boy kicks in, and this just kind of changes the formants and stuff. What gives it its oomph is we have the JPP vocals, which makes it really nice and shiny and clear, and we have some gating, so when I'm not singing, it doesn't have like background noise. It kind of just goes to blank. And then we have the RVox, which is just some compression, de-essing, and the Soothe 2. This plugin is amazing. It basically takes the mix and it just like finds all the bad frequencies you see here, and it just cuts them out. So you can get really intense if you want. So for the accompanying vocal of mine, really the only difference is it's kind of in the sides, and the main thing that's doing that is this micro shift here. On the second style, it just sounds really nice. So I'll show you that on and off. See, it's all on the sides here. It's fun to be a loser. And then center with it off. So here we have Tofie's vocals. She's an amazing singer. This group is just all in the sides, and it has some distortion, as you can hear. And I'm using... Where is that? So this group is the distorted group. I have this Devil Lock on there, which is just like a really great distortion plugin. Hard pan left, hard pan right, with a bunch of distortion. That's how you get that like really clean, crisp pop vocal. And in this section, Tofie's voice is kind of like slowly presenting itself to the mix, because this is the first time you hear it. But like here, you can just hear it full on. It's fun to be a loser. So that you can't not hear that when you have headphones on. And then we have this group as well, which is just me again, but hard pan right, hard pan left. Okay, here's the original part of this. You can hear that. So originally I said break it down, Tofie, but my girlfriend was like, that sounds weird, and it sounds like you're a douche. So I was like, yeah, you're right, it does kind of sound weird, and it sounds like I'm a douche. So that's why it just kind of sounds like break it down. So here's my favorite part of the track. So what's really cool about this, this intro part, I kind of wanted to feel like it was like really far away at first and then coming in because I wanted to introduce kind of my voice that way. Right, so I have some echo boy on it at first, which kind of makes it a little bit further. It's filtering in as well, so it's filtering both ways. And then this one is just in the middle. So it starts in the middle, and then you get a little bit of doot-to-doos on the left, and then some more on the right. So here's the left side. Sounds weird by itself, but together it sounds really nice. And it just holds that note for a while. This one comes in later, and it holds the note later, so you hear that. So it's not coming in right away. And then the volume comes up, and it's the lower harmony. We go just like up and then up again. Oh, this is just like some rap noises. Nice, that's good. We're going into the great group 23, which is just, I think this is my like verse.
Turns out the light and paralyzed my soul in a freezer.
Halfway through, we add another harmony with these guys.
Feed you to the reaper. We are spinning.
And it's vocalized with the vocoder
lost
sometimes.
Inside our shallow lives and egotism. But who we
This one, it's on all the time.
When it all ends.
Definitely added some harmonies in there, which is really nice. So like the main vocal note here is the B flat. So I'll take that and I'll be like, okay, well, how can I harmonize that? I basically kind of just turn the one note into a chord. So, I don't know, just do whatever you want. I experiment a lot. A lot of it's just like trial and error, but basically you can make chords with your voice. It's fun. I'm not explaining it very well because CPU sucks and I don't really remember a lot of things I did, but alright, next we have Tofie's vocals. I took the stems she gave me and I just doubled it.
That is my friend and he sits with me.
The vocal she gave me, for some reason, it was a little bit like, you see it's a little louder on the left side, so that's why I added the harmony, which was a little pan to the right, so all together it kind of balances us out, which is nice. Nice. Classic giggles.
Real quick.
So here's the things that I just like added to emphasize her section.
Fight night.
And then here's the instrumental, which is an older version, because the way I kind of start a song is I'll just kind of like just be completely creative at first and not worry about mixing it all. So if you listen, like here's just like a really unprocessed version of the song. There's like no compression at all. But I used that and I just kind of like perfected the vocals around it. So once I got the vocals sitting the way I wanted, I exported them into the original project. So let's go there now. So now that we got the vocals all finished and processed and ready to go, we're going to do some more processing to them. That's right. This is the main kind of one that we made in the other thing. I have some effects that are happening again in here just because I needed to do more effects. Some more EQing. But these other guys just kind of come on for a little bit. Yeah. Just that me is like the only thing they do. This is a group with just like some giggles at this section, which needed to happen. This is like my favorite part. Got one left, one right, and they're a little different. Beautiful, beautiful. In the mix. The drums just take up a whole bunch of CPU. Let me just not punch my table. Hey guys, the drums take up a lot of CPU, so I just kind of rendered them to wave for now, but I'll go through them in another instance. So let's talk about the sub. This is like one of the few songs where I've only used real bass guitar, which I was pretty proud of. This is what makes the noise. Beautiful bass. So I sat down one day, learned how to play some notes, and this is what we came up with. I'm also volume automating the tails just in this one section, and then they ring out here. I just have the guitar rig on it for a sub bass, and then I just EQ'd it some weird ways. Normally you just like cut like the bass here, but it has some really nice sounds here that make it sound like a real instrument. So hear those. And that kind of is what makes it stand out differently than just like a regular sub. Because it's a guitar. Dark. Sometimes it does weird things like this, where we're automating it, which is fun. Since it's a live instrument, it definitely needs a bit more compression. So I did 2 compressors, I believe. Yeah, so this one's just hitting like 2 or 3 dBs of compression. So that's the bass. Next we'll move on to the piano. Woohoo! Okay, so here's the piano that's a little bit right. Now it's strange because I have it panned right here, and then I have it panned right again. And then this one is just kind of playing like some harmonies. Or melodies, I don't know what to call this stuff. But all together, you have some nice piano. And it sounds like it's wide, it's doing different things. I guess I didn't like how it was like too far left that way, so I made it right again. Half the time when I'm making music, I'm just fixing my mistakes from before, and then it does all this stuff, which is really cool. I'll show you all these notes. Oh yeah, pyramids of notes. I love it. And we got the do-to-dos coming in, da-da-das, whatever you want to call them. So that's the piano. We're using the Granular, great plugin, anything from Contact's great. This piano is a little bit different. We're using the Maverick, so they're 2 different pianos as well, which is interesting. And all together, we group them with some glue compression. Again, more of this. And weird EQs, very weird EQs there. Alright, let's move on to the guitars. And of course, your hard pan left, hard pan right. So it's just all on the sides, leaves room for the vocals in the middle. I'm not the best guitarist, so like I played all of these, but like when it came to this part where I had to play a lot, sometimes I would just like capo whatever note I wanted to play and just like play a section, take it off, play another section, and that's why it's kind of like all chopped up like this. But you can't tell that, right? No, you don't know that. We've got some other harmonies coming in, just like a note here. So we have these guitars, and really it's on the group that I'm saturating them, just like a basic saturator. Some EQs, get out some weird parts we don't like. Compression, you know, all the normal fun stuff. There's this one part of the song where it says like, paralyzed my soul in a freezer. This guitar kind of sounds like, you know, you're shivering or something. I don't know, that's the vibe I get. Tell me I'm wrong, it's fine. And then in the mix, it's got a bunch of delay on it as well, which is fun.
I done paralyzed my soul in a freezer. They want
You're
you
also cold, so you're
weaker,
saying bird.
so they can keep.
It's funny, rap people like do that stuff too. I guess they're just cold, maybe on the inside. Me too. Alright, so those are the guitars. And then we'll go to the chiptune. Shout out chiptune. Lemondrop did a great job on this. He just gave me like all these different kind of things to play with. And he created the ending. The ending wasn't there, and then he just kind of was like, let me just kind of do these things. And I was like, yeah, this sounds sick. So I just kind of did some more things, and then that's how things happen. And he was just kind of following my voice. When I originally sent this to him, it wasn't melodized, so it was very out of tune. And I wonder if he just was like, let me play what he's supposed to sing, so at least that's there. It was beautiful though, it ended up great. Oh yeah.
Lost inside our shallow lives and egotism.
So like it follows the vocal up into this point, and then it kind of does its own thing, which I think is really cool. And then here it kind of follows just the chorus.
Life gives you lemons, you throw them at your friends. It's fun to be a loser, it's fun to make amends.
And these are actual Game Boy sounds, except this kalimba. I don't know how he made this, but it's really pretty. And it's just really subtle in the background. Also, I did some fun things, manipulating this, making it go down. Here's this part. I just kind of chopped this up that he gave me. So like, transposing some sections, -12. I don't know. He basically gave me a whole bunch of samples, and like, messing with samples is just what I love. Oh yeah, that's fun. This part sounds really nice. These 2 pieces are just really nice ambiance. So like right when Tofie kicks in. I keep on saying kicking in. Anyway, just listen to this. Oh yeah. Like a breath of fresh air, along with Tofie's voice. Both just a bunch of fresh air.
Take a walk with my shoes, then you'll see that is my friend. and he says,
Also, yeah, so remember, there's no side chain, so everything sounds a little off right now. So here's when I had a lot of fun with the panning. Like this noise in particular, it's like all the way over here. And then it just moves around. Hanging out over here a little bit. Goes back. Nice. Here's all the pieces he gave me together. And I had some fun panning it. So this one's a little to the left, that one's to the right. And then they switch right here. All over the place. And this guy's just keeping us together. It's a lower note. So then in the chorus, we have this guy. Just that one guy going. And then we go back to the chorus lead. And then this is when it gets really fun with the chiptune. I'm excited to show you guys this. Look at all that panning. What the frick? Oh yeah. And then we go hardcore. Where's that screaming guy? So in this, I just went kind of like up and down with the transposing. So that part's like my favorite because like I don't even know what notes those are, but I was like, this sounds right. Whenever I pan something like that, I have to do it here as well. So like this one's doing the opposite. So they just go together. He's back. And then this is when we get weird. More panning, we're straight on for a little bit. And then we go. And then of course Tofie's voice is also in here, doing the same thing. So it's just like a panning nightmare. And then things get crazy here because they just kind of get out of whack. They were in sync, and now they're Backstreet Boys. Great, car's full. There's birds in there too, from my old house. Hey, back. Here's all the crazy chiptune stuff. And there was some effects he gave me, so like at the beginning here you have this one little sound. I'll show you that. Some Game Boy sounds, you know, you gotta have those in there. And then he gave me this special file here, which I'll show you guys.
Wait, does this mean I'm gonna be in sports?
I still don't know what he's talking about. I don't even know what sports is. Like he can play football or something. I don't. So then we have the effects. So here's just me saying hey through like the bass guitar, I think. Let me turn that up a lot. Here we have some audio here, which is just like a siren at my old house. They're just going off all the time because I live next to a hospital. It's fun. Here's some atmosphere, which I believe just like I use it as a riser. Yeah. It's fun. And here's some birds I showed you guys earlier. Here we got the good old Tofie giggle. Beautiful. Some panning. Here's another sample I have of hers. Boom. That's just it's on the beat mode.
Keep you locked in a tomb so they can soon feed you to the reaper.
Since I'm talking about the Reaper and stuff, I needed some like dark space, you know what I'm saying? So here's some dark space. Sick. Dope. We back. You got anything to say? No, she doesn't. I'm sorry. The drums. Now that they're in the project. Hello world. I look like an idiot all the time. So here's the big old drum group. We'll just solo it so you hear what I'm talking about. Great. So we got the kick. Simple kick. Got some hats to accompany. Great. We got some panning going on there. And what's cool about these hats, of course, they're off time. So like a little late, then a little bit forward, a little late. Sometimes they do fun things like this. And then Lemondrop gave me some hats as well, but made with chiptune stuff. So this filter's in here, as the other ones are still going. And they sound nice and fun. This is where it just does some things. I don't know how to explain this part, but this noise happens. And it follows the left and right thing at the end. And that keeps going. Oh yeah. I mean, it's transposing and it's filtering here. Alright, and then we enter Crash City. So this is like the most crashes I've ever used. It's very colorful and beautiful. So as always, we got a bunch of panning going all over the place. And then this is where I just like panned left and right, these two guys. It's all in your ears. And that's fun. I look like a crazy person. Let's talk about this snare. Beautiful. Consists of this guy. This thing. This thing. A little bit lower. That. And then that. And that one really stands out when you listen to all them again. It's a breakdown, so we just have these two guys going. I tried to make these drums pretty realistic since the whole song is a lot of like live instruments. Alright, we got fun stuff happening there. There I'm like transposing things up, down, all over the place. And then we're filtering out the whole drums, adding some delay. And then on the master I put some effects as well, but that's only in the stems, so I'll show you guys that next. Alright guys, we're finally here. We made it to the stems. Wow. So, CPU sucks. Because of that, I had to render out everything to stems. Also, when you master, it's just better to work with stems, because as you can see, I'm doing a lot of things with the stems. Here's all the stems, great. I reference to Skrillex's Purple Lamborghini all the time because it's just the best song and it's perfectly mixed. Y'all hear that snare? I'm always referencing to I Run to Your Grave. Here's all the reverbs as well because I use returns. So like here's the vocal. Life gives you lemon. And then the drums right here. And as you can see on the drums, anytime the kick comes, I'm like pushing it to 6. So it's like jamming itself into the limiter. That's why all the drums are like super punchy. Because when you're mixing into a limiter, it kind of acts as like a sidechain to the rest of the mix. Like there's a big spike anytime the kick comes in. See? And that's beautiful. It's what you want. Okay, so I guess I needed a kick there, so I just copied and pasted a kick from earlier here as well. That's because I added this sub. So here's a subwoofer that I just like added last minute through Massive for some reason, and then it just comes in here slowly. See it there. And then I Haas effect it as well, so like some weird stuff happens at the end. Like you have a bass that's only in your ears and you can hardly even hear it there, but it kind of just adds this like feeling. So this whole group is sidechaining to the vocals. Whenever the vocal hits, the whole instrumental ducks down. Because, the vocals just weren't present enough, and if it's a real pop song, we wanted the vocals to be in the front. So they want you weaker, so they can keep you locked in a tomb, so they can soon feed you. And it just makes the vocal a lot more present. So like originally the guitars stayed here, but I felt like they were muddying up the mix and taking it away from the chiptune, so I got rid of them in the stems. When I export out to stems, I see everything visually, and then I can do like some more fine tuning. And then we master it, so basically just all these things make it sound nice and loud. I even did a little bit of saturation on the master. The saturate and color is like the best setting that you can possibly do. You just do all around and then boom, saturate color. It's amazing. Some more additive EQ, just like some adjustments there. And then we got the soothe. This thing just like is amazing. Just subtle though. That's why I have a bunch of them just doing a little tiny bit. So it's nice and clean. It's not going to hurt your little baby ears. Some more compression. Puke Child compressor gives it nice character. But this is the interesting part. So at the end here, we have this group. and this is where everything kind of goes crazy. So I have this dry weight anything knob, and I have it kind of slowly turning on, and I have the isotope vinyl on there as well, which is over here. And this kind of represents like really old things. So it's like set to the year 1930. So like it slowly is turning on throughout this whole part. So as you can hear that. These knobs will slowly start to go up. There we go. We got some noise coming in. Oh, you hear that warped coming? Warped depth, whatever. Oh yeah. And then we have the tape stop that turns on right there, the spin down. That's a lot of fun. Again, this shout out Tiny Waves. It's on all the streaming platforms. Give it a listen. Me, Tofie, and Lemondrop put a lot of work into it. So please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I can just answer them in the comments. All right. Peace.
I'm not sorry about my story. It all went short.